Today I'm at the 38th randomly picked place out of the Walking Highlights draw. I am at the start of the Southwest Coast Path, so very excited folks to start this today. Today I'm in Minehead in Somerset. I'll be starting in this area in Quay Street, and then I'll be making my way along the beginning of the Southwest Coast Path, and I imagine we'll climb up a hill around this area, then make a decision which way we'll go at this point. Maybe this way, follow this path, and then we'll be on Bossington Hill. Should be really beautiful. We'll stop off in Bossington briefly, and then we'll carry on to Portlock Weir, and we'll stop off there for a little bit of time, and then we'll get the bus back to Minehead. So join me on my walk to see how I get on. Minehead is a charming seaside town located on the edge of Exmoor National Park. One of Minehead's most famous attractions is Butlins Holiday Resort, shown in the background here, opened up in 1962. Minehead's train station has quite an interesting history. The town is the terminus of the West Somerset Railway, WSR, which is a heritage railway that runs a nostalgic steam train service through the beautiful countryside of Exmoor. Minehead Quay is a charming historic spot with deep roots in the town's maritime past. And we've got a lovely view of the front already as we start. Check that out. So just walking along Quay Street. Lovely bright blue sky today. I love these little cottages, just right, so close to the seafront. And there was a gentleman just sitting in his front garden back a bit, embracing today. You can see along here these little shells. Love that little touch. A lot of the gardens up here are going up a bit of a hill, so they can sit up there and enjoy the view like that. Just the right temperature at the moment, not too hot, but when you start going you do get hotter, of course, especially those hill climbs. Love these statues. And yeah, that must be a robin, mustn't it, on the top there. Lovely little quay area. Look at that lovely pub, the old ship aground. And do a carvery every Sunday. Good to know, good to know. Got open fire in that pub and real ales. But you can see very far there, can't you? But it is windy today, it's really picking up, as you can see, as my hat is trying its best to keep on my head. Just having a little look at the sea from this angle, and you've got the obviously got the pebbles on this beach. You're really next to the pebbles here. Now it's a flat start, as you can see, but I think that will obviously change at some point. But it's good because there is toilets just before, and you can park in the Key West car park if you want to be closer, but it makes sense to start where it's official, isn't it? There we go. So we're just entering Culver Cliff Walk. Now, there you go. That's a really great place to sit for a reset, isn't it? I can see, can't you, how blustery at times it is. And we are climbing, folks, up the first hill. And there's leaves on the ground, so I'm quite surprised about that, to be honest. You know, this time of the year. Our proper signpost, the first one, so Minehead 3/4 of a mile, and our next destination to travel through, Greneley Farm. I think that's 1/3 of a mile, but of course you can go on a bridleway to Minehead for alternative paths. A downhill which I do not mind at all right now. So what you notice when you come through here is you can hear the wind through the trees, but also a lot of it is going to be the sea coming in, the waves. So your ears do tune to try and work this out, I noticed. Well, we're now entering Greeneley Point. Lovely little beach down there, isn't it? But not sure how you would get there. Now this is actually a road that we are on, so a 4x4 was coming from behind, so just be careful to be on the lookout for cars along here. So yeah, this bit is where you have to go up on the steps, and there's a reminder sign I've just noticed saying this is not the coast path, and we've got to go up here, and you have got a sign where you can go this way, but we want to obviously follow the famous acorn. Well, yeah, look, the ferns are out in their fullest at the moment. Really rich greens, aren't they? And should smell the aromas of these soon, I would imagine. Another climb. So, well, maybe we'll be getting them out the way right at the start. There we are, just to catch up on where we are on the map. So over here, folks, you can actually see whales. Excuse my pronunciation, is it Latwit Major and Barry somewhere over there? Just zoom in a bit for you as well. And are we at the top? Not too sure, but a lovely shot here. Very refreshing breeze hits you as you accomplish most of the climb. I think there's more to it than we think here. So this really does feel like a moor around here, and Minehead is the gateway to Exmoor. Just noticed a butterfly here on the path, but if we're just really slow and careful, off they go. What a view of the sea as you're walking up here, and you can look over here and see more. Wonderful. Now the top of this hill
there is a car park there. Not too sure what that car park is, but we've got Bossington 5 miles, which seems to be our next stop off. You can see how thick the moorland is. I think this is the point where Sam commented and said about going a certain way. Now the coastal path is that way, and then you can go this way. Goes Bossington same way. I think I couldn't find their comment, but I think they said it would be better this way than down there. So I think that's what was said, but we'll crack on and go this way then. Look at that for a view. Well, we're now in Holneycote Estate. Right, there we go, that's quite straightforward. Literally a gateway to a wonderful view. I must say this is a nice, pretty level path, so not going up and down, so very pleasant to be going on this route, and it will join up with the other path, sort of like the other bit of the coastal path. I'm hoping to get to Portlock Weir, but we shall see. And then there is a bus that leaves there at, I think it's 5:47. Well, continuous wind, but when I do that you kind of shut away from it. It's quite a nice little break. And that's the current progress. The signal has been a bit hit and miss over this this hill, I must say. Very nice, really lovely. So come over here, we've got the next sign. So Bossington's gone down to 2 miles. You can go that way, but we are going to be going this way, and we are going to be approaching Exmoor ponies. There's quite a few of them up there, isn't there? They're all getting into their grass, and as you can see, there's a few more up here, another gang. I wasn't expecting that, but they seem to have a bit of a taste for ferns. Getting right into these. I'll tell you what's keeping me going at the moment is a bit of good old homemade flapjack. Well, mileage update. So Minehead 4.5 miles, so really cracking on today. Right away to Hurlstone, 1/2 mile, and there is a car park 2/3 of a mile just down there. So good places along here where you, there it is, I think over there. So good amount of car parks. If you don't want to stop off like right down in Minehead, you can be up here if you want to. Portlock Weir is somewhere down there, but oh, it's just absolutely breathtaking. This little place down there, I imagine living there or staying there for a week, just coming up here, enjoying the area, getting out, enjoying the beach. Awesome. So I've just walked up here back because I got distracted by how wonderful that view was. So just going back to this signpost over here, we want to go down this way. Well, just coming up here, you can see 2 cows chilling, and they look just like, I think they must be a breed that I mentioned in a previous video. Well, it is the breed I thought it was. It's a pair of belted Galloway. I mentioned this breed, bit of a comical story, in Totnes, and there we are, right here. Now they are very popular breed of cattle up in the Cotswolds. You can see they've got like their little bells on, or whatever they are, so the farmer can keep track of where they are parading. Yeah, brilliant. And you can tell by their breed because of that white line round them, and they're also known sometimes as Oreo cows due to the striking colour pattern. Great view over here, absolutely terrific. And you know, it's quite a clear day, a little bit misty in the background, but you can see quite well. Just, yeah, you've got all these dark patches, haven't you, on the sea. Ah, it's almost like one of those shots of being anywhere in the world, isn't it, that I've mentioned before. Very lucky to be able to walk in these places. This is unbelievable, isn't it? Look at this. When you go around this corner, it almost feels like you're coming to the end of the cliff, but you're not. But oh, the amount of ocean you can see here, you know, it just opens up here. You've got paths going this way, that way, you can go that way, which I'm going to be doing, but there's so many options for you to explore around here. I'm sure you can't blame me for getting a little bit excited about all this, but this is brilliant, isn't it? No, I mean, it is again very blustery, but you've got a bench here, you can sit there, you can enjoy this, and what does that say? It says Bossington alternative route, but I think we're going to be going, yeah, as I say, going this way, but yeah, got an alternative route to Minehead. Your options are there. Hurlston Point, half a mile up there, so yeah, really ideal. And then it feels like you're a bit of it feels like you're on a bit of a shelf, that feeling. And it just, when you see the end to this corner, it almost feels like that's it, that's the end of the whole path. But look at this again. Spellbinding it is. Of course you could go up there if you wanted to, on that path, but yeah, really is. But this is really, really high, and you can really feel the wind, and everything looks so small down there, and we're sort of going round this bend, but this really is something else. It really is. It's almost like you're up in like a very tall tower, or you know, up on a mountain. But yeah, God, unbelievable. You just got it. You feel the force of the wind as you're going round here. You really do. And you can see so much. You can see Portlock, and you can see Portlock Weir over there somewhere. Yeah, stunning, isn't it? Well, there's actually a bench up here, and I think it's going to be the picnic spot today, isn't it? You're not going to beat this having your sandwich, are you? So, right, what have we got in my lunch box today? It's a bit of a basic one, but it does the job. So, first of all, I've got my Marmite sandwich. I've got Snack Right ready salted crisps, and being a massive fan of Cadbury's Twirl, I've put a Cadbury's Twirl orange in, and that's actually originally from an Easter egg. So I don't eat my Easter eggs that quick, but I like to just prolong, so I've got a bit of chocolate. Right, I'm going to get cracking with that, and I'll catch you in a bit. It's going to be difficult to move from here, isn't it? Off we go. So just this little village is Bossington. So that's how we're doing at the moment. This bit reminds me of Tean Valley Gorge. Just right on the edge of the real dip. So we're in the woods, and again you've got all these leaves. Almost feels like I've jumped through a season or something. You can see the sheer drop down there. On camera it looks a bit flat, but it is a drop. Well, there we go, just half a mile to Bossington. Right, I'm just going through this gate. Be careful of this stone, right? It doesn't move, so you don't trip over that. So, right, we'll go through here. Then we've got a sign for St Agnes. I thought we would need St Agnes for a minute then. St Agnes Fountain. Sounds cool. Alliford, Bossington. There's a big echo in here. Right, let's go. Oh, got to remember to shut the gate, of course. So this is the St Agnes Fountain. But there's not a lot of water. You can see might see a few drops. But yeah, it certainly needs a little bit of rain, doesn't it? Yeah, kind of went off quite a bit from the coastal path, but it's all good because you're discovering these little paths. Right, there's the coastal path signs again. Portlock Weir 3 miles. Well, we certainly need to get our move on with that one then. Well, there we are, we're in Bossington. Just want to give this place a shout out. It's called Kitnors. So they do hot and cold drinks, cream teas, cakes and ice cream. Got an undercover seating area, parasols 10:30 to 4, also coffees to go. And they do, this looks like a good ice cream. Look at that. I'll just have a quick little peek in here. Look, you walk along this lovely little garden. Look at this. This is just great. And then you go all the way up here. Awesome. Right, I went for salted caramel ice cream. Let's give this a go. So, Trelevin's ice cream. Oh, That is great. That really is great. And what a treat, you know, going down Bossington Hill and having this. Yeah, you got to try this. Like they say there, it really is proper Cornish ice cream. Well, Portlock Weir gone down to 1 mile and 3/4. Nice. So the ice cream has been and gone. But yeah, Kitnors, really friendly in there. And they've got like a nice garden area to sit in. So they encourage like walkers to come in and just take their boots off, have a rest, and then they'll even fill up your water bottle for you, which is just, it's just so great, isn't it? So welcoming. So yeah, got to pop in if you're around this area and you're walking. And just walking by this meadow. You can see that that would be the next climb if you were carrying on beyond Portlock Weir. So yeah, there you go. That's the hill we were up, eating my lunch. Yeah, so the wind has picked up again. But it has been another great day for weather, isn't it? That bird hardly takes a breath. It reminds me of those brass players, you know. There's a nice little path along here. Look at that, nice little wooden bridge. It goes off onto the beach, I think. Yeah, nice little feature. And this area is called Sparkhaze Marsh. So we just had to come around here and get back in the right direction for the coast path. Come to this bridge. The money's been spent, hasn't it, to keep this path well maintained and safe. I think the National Trust do put money in, don't they? So I'm really impressed with what they do to keep everything nice. I love this. And then it gives some nice words. So some of the wildlife you could come across. Really lovely. Very nicely done, this. And this little area was Hornicote Estate. This is a memorial for a Royal Air Force plane that crashed close to here. So yeah, clipped the Bossington Hill and crashed into the marsh at Portlock, not far from this memorial. There we go, just 1/3 of a mile to get to Portlock Weir, and there you go, just over there. God, this is, it's just stunning. And the clouds look a bit moody, but you can look all the way over here as well. So just gotta, well, you don't have to go under this tree, you could go that way, but yeah, tree on the beach. Interesting part of the coastal path, isn't it, this bit? All this shingle and pebbles. And captivating sound of the crashing waves. I think there's been that erosion up there because it's quite very different to just be on here, isn't it? But it's adapted so we can carry on and enjoy the whole coastal path. This is cool, Portlock Marsh, and then it tells you where you are, and it also tells you how far left there is. So another 621 miles. So just climbed up those steps, and yeah, there we go, 1/4 mile left to go. the view behind you when you're walking, and then just entering Portlock Weir. Lovely pub here, look, the Ship Inn, beautiful looking pub. Well, I think it's only right that we have a little look around as we've made all that effort to get here. And you've got the Portlock Weir Hotel. God, imagine staying there for a week or so, or even for a few days would be lovely, wouldn't it? Look at that, very nice. Got the terrace outside bar, and they do wood-fired pizzas. Nice, very nice. Right, it'd be rude not to, wouldn't it? I'll tell you what, it's lovely to sit down, it really is. And I've gone for half a pint of Korev. Cheers. Oh, it tastes amazing. The bus is going to be here in about half an hour, so ideal. I believe the bus has arrived. So it's a slightly different bus to what we're kind of used to. So let's check it out. Let's go. Right, on the bus. So £1.50 single. Not bad, is it? So I will get back to the car. I'll give you my thoughts on today. Well, the walk is complete. I did 15.4 kilometres in the end, which I think must be the king of the longest walks that I've done. So it must be sitting at the top, surely. So I'll put that on the screen to confirm. But it's been brilliant. Starting at the beginning of the Southwest Coast Path is really awesome to be able to do that today, and then walking all the way to Portlock Weir and going up Bossington Hill really was something. It is a climb, but met some great people today at Kitnors in Bossington. Yeah, really lovely people, and it's a real lovely little gem of a place to visit when you're hiking through, because you can chill out there, take your shoes off, they'll refill your water bottles, and get some lovely ice cream. Really was nice. So the terrain, very challenging at parts, you know, because you've right at the beginning you got a bit of a flat walk, and then all of a sudden you're going to be climbing up for quite some time, so it's quite a long hill climb to start, but yeah, Bossington Hill, going around there, very windy, but outstanding views over Bossington, over Portlock, and Portlock Weir as well. Just incredible place to have your lunch, you know, it just had to be done. So the signal, at times it did take a while to load things like footpath maps, so it was okay in points, but you know, the signage was great. Did go off a little bit from the coastal path, but that was really cool, just going round those areas, like in the woods, coming across St Agnes Fountain. That was really good to see. Seating, great amount of seating, and then of course you've got seating where you've got these, you know, it's catering for the best views as well. You know, it was awesome meeting Will as well, because he is doing the full coast path. His goal is to do it in a month, so I wish him all the best with that. I'd also like to mention the National Trust, the fact that they put in a lot of money into making these different areas along the southwest coast path safe, clean, and really interesting. The information that you can find out. Parking. So today I parked along the Quay Street, and you can use your card, cash, contactless. You can pay by phone as well. 801 900 is the location. I spent £7.30 till the charges ended at 6 p.m. So getting back about just after 6, well, 6:15ish, it was ideal. You've also got Key West car park, which is just down a bit, and it's where, you know, where those boats are, and the pub. Nice little area before you set off properly on the coastal path. Getting here, so driving from Taunton, you go along the A358, and then you go on the A39. So that's the route I took. There was other routes, but that was a better route because it was more main roads rather than smaller roads. Now the bus that I got back was like an independent company, and it stops off just the other side of the road outside the Ship Inn pub, and it cost £1.50, which I thought was really fair. You know, it took about 20 minutes, probably, maybe 15-20 minutes, but yeah, and that just dropped me back in Minehead, just near to just opposite Minehead station. So it was just a few minutes walk back to where the car is. But folks, it's been brilliant. Quite tired, to be honest with you, so hopefully what I've said makes as much sense as possible. But yeah, feet are stinging a little bit, but it was really worth it. And seeing the Somerset coast, yeah, great introduction to it, I must say. But anyway, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and look out for the next walking highlights draw, which I'll be doing very soon. Thank you for joining us, and join me for another walking journey very soon. And it's bye bye from me in Minehead.